How cooked meat made our brains grow bigger. Hello, in this video we are going to talk about shocking reasons how meat is affecting your mental health and how it affects you. Make sure to like the video and subscribe before we begin. With that, let's start. It was the year 1994 when a young paleoanthropologist named Brianna Pobiner dug into the dirt in northern Kenya and touched bones that hadn't been touched in over 1.5 million years. Paleoanthropologist Pobiner was digging up old animal bones and hunting for clues that they had been killed by our early ancestors in order to get at the fat and calorie-rich bone marrow that was concealed within. According to Pobiner, who works at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, District of Columbia, you are reaching through a window in time. The creature who slaughtered this animal is not quite like you. You're uncovering this direct evidence of behavior, she said. That event prompted Pobiner's lifelong interest in how the diets of our ancestors influenced their evolution and finally the emergence of our own species, Homo sapiens. The consumption of meat in particular appears to have been an important factor. The majority of our more remote predecessors subsisted mostly on plant matter, and they had short legs and brains that were around the same size as those of chimpanzees. But about 2 million years ago, a new species appeared on the scene with characteristics that were unmistakably human. Homo erectus possessed a larger brain than modern humans, a smaller belly, and limbs that were sized comparable to those of modern humans. And fossils discovered around the same time, like the ones that were unearthed by Pobiner in Kenya, demonstrate that people were butchering animals in order to extract the marrow from the bones and separate the meat from the bones. Paleontologists have speculated for decades on the significant connection they believe exists between the evolution of human-like traits and the consumption of meat. However, the core argument of the recently published study is that the ancestor of modern humans, Homo erectus, was the first to exhibit fundamentally human characteristics, such as larger brains, and that these characteristics are connected to a dietary shift toward a greater emphasis on the consumption of meat. However, the authors of the study contend that their review of previously published data cannot indicate an increase in evidence for meat consumption following the development of the Homo erectus, which challenges the notion that consuming meat is what made humans human. According to the study's lead author, W. Andrew Baer, an assistant professor at George Washington University, it's clear that eating meat has been important for many groups of humans throughout much of human history and prehistory. But the idea that there was a sudden evolutionary event where meat eating went from being relatively unimportant to being so central that it drove the evolution of key human traits just doesn't shake out in our analysis of the published evidence. The study of how humans began consuming meat has traditionally concentrated on very well-preserved sites at a few well-known research places, as he put it. Data relating to 59 of these sites in eastern Africa, reflecting human activity from between 2.6 million and 1.2 million years ago, were analyzed by Baer and his colleagues. The number of sites that included animal bones with cut marks caused by tools and the overall quantity of bones belonging to this group was both pieces of evidence pointing to the consumption of meat. Even if these new data do not completely disprove the meat hypothesis, it is possible that there is still more to the narrative of human evolution during this time period. Stephen Merritt, an anthropologist at the University of Alabama in Birmingham, who researches the evolution of meat eating, believes that there are a lot of aspects of the behavior of Homo erectus that we do not know. Merritt's research focuses on how humans began eating meat. Even while there is likely a lot more to human evolution than what Homo erectus ate for supper, the emphasis that has been placed on the meals of our predecessors continues to carry a lot of weight in our times. Paleo diet followers avoid eating processed foods in favor of eating more meat and uncooked vegetables. They do this because they believe that eating meals that are more similar to those eaten by early humans is better for our health. The high-fat, low-carbohydrate keto diet is also frequently described as a return to the diet of our ancestors. However, research reveals that ancient human meals might have consisted of a lot less meat than what is suggested by modern trend diets. Some people believe that an origin narrative of humanity that is strongly entrenched in carnivory points towards some long-lost male ideal, specifically the belief that humans owe their own existence to their desire for blood and meat. In point of fact, the accumulating evidence is somewhat more convoluted than that suggests. It's possible that consuming meat evolved at the same time as a whole host of other activities, which unlocked the potential of our larger brains and paved the way for the development of complex languages and civilizations. According to Merritt, maybe meat made us human not just because we were eating it, but because of the social stuff we were doing around it. He also added that rather than asking, "Did meat make us human?" I would like to know how meat made us human. This is it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.